and far from mine. She's waiting for love to be realized. I'll send her my heart covered as a gift, and hope that you'll take it into her side.
life of National Government Schools. Second appearance of Advocate beloved Indian English poet, having international repute. At last, he has blessed us with his second appearance in the premises of National Government Schools. I, on behalf of National Government Family Department English, and on behalf of the governing body, Science President Sir, we heartily welcome you, sir, to this August occasion. Lord Jagannath, it is our last prayer that
Standing ovation, we should.
Lord Jagannath, give you grace. from brain, voice, and all kinds of energy to our revered Professor of English, Professor Vishnu Charan Das, Professor Central University Assam, our inaugurator sir. I have already told you the great sir, Professor of Physics, but now he is an Indian poet, Jonathan Mahapatra. And sir is present, guide, philosopher, and all kinds of support that providing. Yesterday also he joined us in the celebration, foundation the celebration. Pradeep sir, Pradeep Kumar Mishra, President Governing Body, and my younger brother, the Chief Editor of Rock Fables, Dr. Udana Maji, who is always actually collaborating Department of English, and also from time to time, actually we are also organizing our seminar and webinars. So again, I welcome you sir. I request Pragyan to come here and coordinate the program, and my dear children, those who are here in the Department of English, they will sing the welcome song.
There shall be showers of blessings. This is the promise of love. There shall be seasons refreshing, sent from the Savior above. Showers of blessings we need. Mercy drops round us are falling, but for the showers we plead. There shall be showers of blessings, precious reviving again.
Saya Manji and Amita of our department. I request our HOD English, Bhupendra Bhasmai, to introduce the guest.
So a hearty welcome to everybody participating in the national seminar organized by the Department of English, Vyasanagar Autonomous College, in collaboration with Rock Fables. My job has already been told by the principal to give introduction of the distinguished guest of the seminar. I would like to begin with the notable poet of India, Padma Shri Jonathan Mahapatra, who is the inaugurator of the seminar and whose poems are frequently prescribed and included in the syllabus for the degree as well as the postgraduate students. We are very fortunate to have him in this seminar. Just 4 days ago, I was teaching his most prescribed poem, Grandfather, to the honor students, and today the students of the Department of English must be happy to see him physically in our college. One of the interesting facts about Sri Mahapatra is that he received international recognition first, and after that he received recognition from his home country. Even though he is in his 90s and despite his sickness, he has come. I welcome you, sir, to this seminar. The next distinguished guest, chief guest of the seminar is Sri Pradeep Vishwas sir, a retired bureaucrat, a distinguished orator, a poet of great repute, who has written both in regional and English language. He is participating in the seminar after having achieved a great deal of name and fame in the field of administration. He is given the responsibility of heading the college by the state government. He hails from this locality and he is an ex-student of this college. I welcome you, sir, to this seminar. Another distinguished guest, the keynote speaker of the seminar, Professor Vishnu Charan Das from the University of Assam. A great academician, scholar, Professor Vishnu Charan Das is a well-known figure in our college. He has deep and intimate connection with the Department of English. He is well known for his oratory. As an outstanding speaker, Professor Das will explain to us on the subject of which the seminar is being organized. I welcome you, sir, to this seminar. The seminar would not have been possible without the participation of Dr. Udainath Maji, editor of Rock Papers, and a guest of honor of our seminar. Dr. Maji has the credit of organizing webinars and seminars in the Department of English of our college. I welcome you, sir, to this seminar. The seminar would be presided over by the principal of our college, Dr. Kushal Chandra Pradhan, who is the main architect of the event. Being a member of Rock Papers, he has intimate relationship with Dr. Udainath Maji, and his credit goes to both of them for organizing seminars in our college. Dr. Pradhan is a dynamic man. He never gets tired. During his tenure, he has organized so many webinars and seminars in the college. The seminar would not have been possible without Dr. Pradhan. I also welcome the invitees, participants, my colleagues, students, and the media persons to this seminar. Thank you, sir.
And that happiness, the real happiness that will quench the thirst, the modern man's thirst and hunger. Hunger going that created, so many interpretations for different critics, and a man is present here, the poet, the hunger poets. Everybody now is having hunger, intellectual hunger, monetary hunger, physical hunger. So many hungers are actually affecting the human happiness and peaceful coexistence. So we are now actually searching for peace. So here the topic is today that WBS and Union downfall. Perhaps this topic is chosen in consultation with our regular keynote speaker present today and our president governing body, that this topic is chosen because that Indian ethics, Indian religion, that Indian spiritualism and the Gita, the Mahabharata, that have already, completely influenced the Western literature and the Western writers. They are greatly influenced by our Indian thought, Indian philosophy. Say, our Mohan Chatterjee, and who had a great influence on the life of our WBS. And even also that Indian philosopher, that's Swami Vivekananda, even also our all the scholars, they have completely actually captured the minds of the Westerners. And for that reason, there is actually again a similar image that is created by WBS, that is actually that Narasimha Avatar speaks. Narasimha Avatar, and here we find the body of actually the man and the head of the actually lion. That is Narasimha Avatar. That 10 avatars are there, and one of the avatars is false, because to destroy, to demolish the evil creation, the evil minds. So when our strength and intellect will be combined together, then that will be actually the super creation, and you see that is maybe our super soul. And everywhere we find that is the hunger. That is the hunger for actually merger into the super soul. I think the Supreme Soul, I mean the Almighty. That is the aim of human life. If somebody tells you, if somebody asks you that what is the aim of your life, what is the mission of your life, then you see most of the people actually may forget that yes, we are actually the aim of my life is to be a man of clothes, an IAS officer, or a great teacher. But the people, those who know the pros and cons of life, then they will no doubt, undoubtedly, they will advocate that my aim of life is salvation, liberation from actually this kind of actually physical bondage. Physical bondage completely actually imprisons actually the soul, and that doesn't have the opportunity to go to the super soul. And this is called Indian philosophy, that merger of the individual soul with the super soul. And this is the actually Indian mysticism. Indian mysticism says that you see that the merger, the union of human soul with the super soul. And W. Yeats, in his life, whatever has happened in his life, that has also happened in an ordinary man's life. Ordinary man, what is an ordinary man? We are having some attractions, we are having some actually fantasy, we are having some actually sometimes also we go for realization. And that has also happened in the life of W. Yeats. How he is very much actually guided by actually human instincts and human passions. And so that you see, he loved a girl, Mudgone, and then Mudgone rejected. Then frustration came, and then you see that he said that this life is completely actually meaningless, and let us actually depart. Out of frustration, that man suicides. Out of frustration, even also man tries to go beyond, but he's not actually conducive for his life and for the life of the society. And then you see comes actually whenever the old age comes, then he thinks for actually liberation or salvation. Again also W. Yeats, then again also comes that yes, no doubt that material prosperity, that you see scientific advancement, and all kinds of you see that modern apparatus actually that cannot satisfy human desire or human instinct. So let us go to that supreme soul, that the Indian philosophy says that you see we are born to actually live with God, not on this mundane soil, that we are not the devotees of material prosperity, rather we are the true devotees of actually Lord the Almighty, and who is the overseer and who is the actually supervisor of our all activities. And he says, as the ordinary man says, Indian philosophy says, that whatever happens, it is the will of God. Today, Kasaragod Autonomous College organized a national seminar. Perhaps this is the will of God. Whenever I requested our sir, Janta sir, he loves me very much. He didn't actually reject my prayer. I mean my request. And our beloved president sir told, Ushav, you are a very naughty man. And why are you inviting our sir? He is 95 years old. 95 dear friends. We are 95 years old, and who is sitting before you, and such a that how he is also guided by his own instinct. That means to see my children, to see my grandchildren, and to see my Ushav, my all the faculty members of the Department of English. And he also, whenever he came and saw our president, he is also a poet, a great poet of Odisha, that the Pradeep Kumar Biswal. Okay, so such a kind of assembly today that completely now actually makes me very much nostalgic whenever he appeared once. I mean, on my request whenever he came, and again also he blessed actually our children and also staff members and also students of this. So today, this is a topic, and for your information, that unfortunately, that my book is not going to be released. I have also written a book that is Indian Mysticism in W. Yeats' poetry, and I'm going to be published by other publisher. But actually, he didn't send the book so that it will not be released. However, that today's national seminar, that will no doubt will be very effective and very successful one with deliberation of different paper presenters. Though some of the students of my department and also outside, they have gone to present their paper on different aspects of this topic and WS and the political thought. So now let us not waste our time. I again welcome from my core of my heart and on behalf of the Department of English, although I am the principal, but actually I also belong to the Department of English, and I was reading here as a honor student in English from actually 81 to 83, 1981 to 83, 2 years I actually here, and intermediate also I actually completed here from 79 to 81. So as a student of English literature, again also I welcome to this national seminar, and I also very much actually thankful, very much indebted so to say, to our great teacher, I mean Professor of Physics and great international English poet, Janta sir, and our President sir, and my dear younger brother, Dr. Bulls editor, Dr. Bhudonath Maji, and my one of my guide and teacher, and my also well-wisher, Professor of English, Assam Central University, Sir Vishnu Chandra Das. Thank you all. Again, I also seek your participation. Now, sir has inaugurated the national seminar. Now it is open for discussion today, and at first I request Professor Vishnu Chandra Das, keynote speaker, Professor of English, Assam Central University, to address the today's assembly.
Jayant Mahapatra sir, the President of the governing body, Mr. Biswal, my good friend, Dr. Bhudonath Maji, editor of Pebbles, esteemed colleagues of Dasnagar Autonomous College, students, invitees, paper readers, friends. A very good morning. It is now going to be afternoon. Anyway, I will call it. Good morning to all of you.
We are very fortunate to felicitate for the second time in our college to Jayant Mahapatra sir, the great poet, the leading agent, and all are very lucky to see this in life. Thank you so much, respected dignitaries. Now it's time for our guest of honor, Dr. Bhudonath Maji. He is the editor of Rock Papers, the international peer-reviewed journal. Now I will request him to give his address to our august audience.
Respected President of this occasion, esteemed inaugurator of this national seminar, noted Indian English poet Jayant Mahapatra sir, respected Pradeep Biswal, a poet and President of this college managing committee, Learned Speaker Professor Vishnu Chandra Das sir, Pragya madam, and all the dignitaries in the audience. This is a big day for me and for Rock Papers, because after 2.5 years, I got a chance to have a meeting in a physical mode with the help of this college. So I am thankful to the principal and all staff of this college. Rock Papers Journal is a UGC approved and peer reviewed journal since 1987.
President,
my reverend poet of Indo-English literature, Professor Jayanta Mahapatra sir, my favorite Odia poet, my Facebook friend, bureaucrat Pradeep sir, the eloquent speaker of this occasion, Professor Das, and the editor of Rock Fable, Dr. Majhi, and my loving sister, Pragya, my distinguished guests of this occasion, media persons, and dear students.
Esteemed chairperson of the session, beloved principal, Dr. Kusha Chandra Pradhan, the chief guest of the occasion, legendary Jayanta Mahapatra sir, keynote speaker of the session, Professor Das, editor Rock Fables, Udainath Majhi, faculty members, participants of this national seminar, our faculty members and dear students. I am really happy to be a part of this national seminar today, and I must congratulate the principal and his colleagues for organizing such an event. Yesterday, I was very much worried for inviting Jayant sir to this session because I was apprehending his health may not permit like that. But fortunately he has come, and this is a great occasion for the college that he is present in the college today. When we talk of poetry, the line between poetry and philosophy is very thin. A good poet is obviously a philosopher. Jayanta Mahapatra is a poet. He delves into the philosophy of life. If you read his poems, you will find how much philosophical he is in his utterances. Every poet is therefore a philosopher in heart. When you come to W.B. Yeats, a noted poet of 20th century, an Irish poet, he was, as mentioned by Professor Das and also by Professor Pradhan, he was greatly influenced by Indian philosophy, mysticism. Even he learned Sanskrit, he translated Upanishads, and he was a great friend of Rabindranath Tagore, and his historic preface of Gitanjali, the English translation of Gitanjali, won him Nobel Prize. So, as a poet, as a dramatist, as a literature, W.B. Yeats is considered as a pioneer in the world literature. And we Indians feel proud that he has been greatly influenced by Indian philosophy, Indian spiritualism, Indian culture. And a great lot of works have been done by the scholars on his Indian connection. Dr. Kushal Chandra Pradhan has also done a good work on this topic, and his book was to be released today. Unfortunately, it could not reach by the time we organized the seminar. So, the students of English literature, I think this seminar today will give them ample opportunity to know about Yeats and his works. So, I once again thank Professor Pradhan and his colleagues for organizing this seminar, and I wish the seminar will be a great success. Thank you.
समस्ते मोटो बहुत छोटा बहुत सानो मोर आंतरिक शुभेच्छा समस्त। Now I will begin with this, that poetry gives you an opportunity to love. भलो पाइबार सुजोग दिए कविता, भल पाइबार सुजोग देव नथिले मु आज कहीं प्रिंसिपल कथार अनुरोध भी करना मत कहले सार आसबे मुझे हाँ जी मत पिला भल लगे टीचर मान को भल लगे समस्त को भल लगे पोएट्री मत सहीटा देती समस्त को भल पाइबाटा सब भल। Poetry belongs to the heart. ସେଇଟା ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଭୁଲି ଯାଉ। ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫିଜିକ୍ସ ପଢ଼ୁଥିଲି, when I studied physics, I did not have my focus on physics. ମୁଁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଝଟକା ବାଟେ ମେଘକୁ ଅନାଏ, ବର୍ଷା ପଡ଼ୁଥାଏ ଅନାଏ, ଆଉ ସାର୍ କ'ଣ କହୁଥାନ୍ତି ମୁଁ ମୋତେ ଜାଣିପାରେନି। I never really understood or really paid attention to what my teacher was talking to me, to the students in class. And so I did not do very well in my studies. As a matter of fact, do you know that I failed in English language in my first year's class? Yes, I failed in English language. I got only 23 marks in English. And I had trouble in getting through to the second year class from my first year class. What about Costa Rica? So please remember that marks does not make a man. So Khali first 99% Bapama. Today parents are very, very particular in seeing that their students, that their daughters, that their sons get 95 to 99%. I don't think that's a good idea. Let the child play, give him freedom, give her freedom. ସବୁବେଳେ ତାକୁ ପାଠ ପଢ଼ାଇଲେ କ'ଣ ଲାଗ? Will he have 2 lives? Will she have 2 lives? ତାର ଯାହା ଇଚ୍ଛା ତ କରୁ। Why do you ask students to read all the time, study all the time? Now, I'll cut my message short. I'll just take 1 or 2 points. The point is, when I studied physics, and all of us generally, we always think with our minds. We are very rational. We think logically. We should do this, we should do that, we shouldn't do this, we should do that. And logic plays a very significant role in our lives. I don't think that's also a true thing. It's the heart which matters. It's the heart which makes you go on. So it's the heart that is important for a person to live. Heart which has like and this heart, can can act also in very many ways. It can act like a computer. It can do so many things. It can make you fall in love at the age of 94. Even at 94, I can fall in love. I don't think there is anything wrong with that. If I see a beautiful girl, I will like her. तो सर कौन भूल करी मुझे किसी भूल करी नहीं समझ से भाई हाँ बुढ़ा लोग कटा अरे बुढ़ा लोग कटा तो हार्ट सर let me take care of my heart अब तब जब खाली बसी गिरी सकाले उठी न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ी स्त्री को पार्टी कर गए पानी रास्ता दे चाह इतने देरी कौन करूँ that's not the way to live that's never the way to live. A person, a man, a husband should be a partner to his wife. Should do things together. A wife is a friend. A husband is a friend. We never forget that. जैसे बड़े हमें मोटा साथा कहती. When you get you are quoting a girl. I'm talking about a friend of mine, a very young friend of mine. She was coaching a girl, they were very much in love. They said, if I don't get this girl, I'll commit suicide. The girl said, if I don't get this man, I'll commit suicide. They got married. But after that, the man thought of his wife as a possession. जमती तारा गाड़ी टा जमती किता स्कूटर टा जमती से भाविला ता स्ट्रीट भी जमती ताकू तो पोछा पोछी करके रखिले सुंदर दिसबो भल लागबो so that's not the way to live. You know what you want to live खाली बंचवाटा हमारे you have to live, you not to live happily, to live a romantic life, to live a free life. You need a little sunshine. खरा टिके रखने पर सकाल पर लगे वो नहीं केवल पर लगे वाले you need a little sunshine, you need a little freedom. स्वाधीनता टिके दरकार to do what you want. और तृतीयता you need a flower. फूल उठा करते हैं कौन जीवन में कुछ दवा एक little generally you are doing much for yourself. You are knowing how to live and poetry teaches you how to live. That is why I am happy all the ways. I lost my wife 14 years back. I lost my only son 5 years back. I have nobody at home. My family lives outside India. They don't come. They are not Orias. So I don't have much trust with them. But that doesn't mean that I should be happy. I am very happy as I am. पण भगवान का लोग देखते हैं आगे सकाल देखते हैं खाली सकाल ले जाते सकाल को आक्रमण कर समझता पर हंसो ले जाते से हंसता था को बड़ा था नहीं मतलब सही सब भला लगे हम सही जो को कुछ रहता है मत सकाल मत स्वीटी और लिप्सा मत नहीं कि आती है ताकि संग बकर है कि आती नहीं पर को बहुत बड़ा लगेगा समझे समस्या का संग मत भला लगे अब कुछ कहना नहीं बट्टे कथा कहना. We are today talking about W.B. Yeats. Now Ireland is a totally different country. It's not like India. It's a very different country. You go first to Ireland, you'll find a very gloomy, dismal weather all the time. Somewhere like the Metro Andhra, it's dark, it's gloomy. You don't like Ireland. But Ireland has produced the best poets in the world. You take up any Irish poet, even today, a few days back, an Irish poet, Michael Longley, she got a very good award, very, very significant award for his poetry. And W.B. Yeats, to my mind, I am not a student of English, I am a student of physics, but to my mind, W.B. Yeats was a better poet than T.S. Eliot. I would tell you, really was a Malagana Yates country. I roamed about Yates country for about 3 days. The places where he worked, the place where he died, where his tombstone is written, traveler passed by. All these things I saw, and it brought me a very great satisfaction in my heart. जब हमारा गुरु बने बता लोगों को देखिए हमारा भल लगा और ये देखिए वापस चला. And you know what? Leave aside the spiritualism that we have been talking about. Yeats was a great lover. He loved Lady Cool. I have been to the park, to Cool Park, where W.B. Yeats has written his initials W.B.Y. on a tree in Cool Park. He loved the Lady Cool. Lady Cool loved him, and probably the basis of Yeats' writing was in his love. And I think without love, you cannot write. You have to have love. You cannot say that ଭଲ ପାଇବି କ'ଣ ମୋ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀକୁ ଭଲ ପାଇଛି ତାକୁ ବି ଭଲ ପାଇକି ରହିବି. ସରି ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଖରାପ କଥା କହୁଛି ଆପଣମାନେ ମୋତେ କ୍ଷମା କରିବେ. କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କରିବି ଏଇଟା ହେଇଯାଏ. You cannot do. If you live for 100 years, how can you live with the same woman for 100 years? Please ମୋତେ କ୍ଷମା କରନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଭୁଲଭାଲ କଥା କହୁଛି. Please excuse me. I have much to talk, but today it's already late. So maybe some other time, if your principal is good enough to ask me to come, I'll come and talk to you in a small seminar. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
What great grace prevails in his personality. We experienced and also we felt the grandeur of his personality, stalwart in the arena of poetry, English poetry. And many thanks to our beloved Guru, who is my idol, who is my role model in all the meetings, whenever I appear and join all the literary meetings. And I bluntly declare that my role model is John Mahabharata. So he has come, he has inspired, he has encouraged, and also he has blessed us like me. Sir, koti pranam, amanku Bhagavan 110 ବର୍ଷର ଅଧିକା ଆୟୁ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ. ଆମେ ଆଜି The very good news that the poet W. Yeats was born in Dublin, and a boy and his mother, they have arrived here from Ireland. Just they have arrived, and Shobhan, a very small child from Ireland, from Dublin, he has arrived, and also his mother Srima. Recently, actually, Srima's father also joined in the district writers meet, and unfortunately he expired. Also, we condole the death of her father, and I am very much thankful to Shobhan and Srima from Ireland, from Dublin, those who have come here. I request Shobhan to speak something about W. Yeats as he hails from Dublin, Ireland. Shobhan.
Namaste everyone. Before I begin my speech, I'd like to address that since I'm not very good at Odia, I'll speak in English. So I hope you don't find that disrespectful. Okay, a brief introduction of myself. My name is Shobhan Shivraj Basu. I live in Ireland, and I study in Ireland as well, and I just finished my 3rd year, and I'm moving on to 4th year. So that was a bit of about myself. W.B. Yeats is one of my favorite poets, and I'm very grateful that Mr. Kushal Chandra Pradhan is making a book about it, and I'm very excited to read his book. So, starting it off, W.B. Yeats has received the title of being Ireland's greatest poet, and I agree with that statement. Overall, I love W.B. Yeats' poems, and I think they're wonderful. He mostly focuses on themes of love, loss, and loneliness. And one of my personal favorite poems of his is titled "The Irish Airman Foresees His Death." And many of his poems, such as "The Lake Isle of Innisfree" and "Easter 1916," "The Irish Airman Foresees His Death," show his true patriotism for Ireland. He was a very patriotic man and referenced Ireland and the Irish life in many of his poems, and I respect that about him. I'm quite nervous to be here as well. So, W.B. Yeats forged a great connection with India by making a very mutual friendship with Rabindranath Tagore. He helped Rabindranath Tagore translate the Gitanjali and made an introduction in Gitanjali as well. So many of Ireland and India's connections started from there. And W.B. Yeats was the first Irishman to ever receive the Nobel Prize. And Ireland is very proud of him. And we had recently, a few months back, we had recently been to one of his archives in a museum, and we got to see many of his first-hand accounts of his diaries and handwritten texts. And I'm delighted to be here and talk to you about it.
Finish.
Okay. Be comfortable.
And another thing I'd mention is Mr. Kushi Chandra, his friend is my grandfather, and I'd like to talk about him as well. My grandfather was a real gentleman from Orissa, and I really miss him. He loved W.B. Yeats' poems as well, and he mentioned it to me as well during his last talk with me. He also told me to come here and speak to you, so here I am. My grandfather was a poet and writer and orator, and he wrote lots of poems and books, and I'm really proud of him. And my mother told me that he was proud of me, so I'm happy to know that he was. So I'll just end my speech here since I don't really know what to say.
And I went around all the places he was in, where he fell in love, where he resided alone in those big tower-like buildings that he made himself. And there was a stream passing by, very beautiful, very scenic surroundings he lived in. But the point is, all of us know about the lake, Isle of Innisfree. All of us know about it. How big do you think that island is? It's a real island in the lake, in Ireland. Do you know how small it is? That island is only about this, on the size of this hall. And there are rocks and trees there. Nothing else is there. But Yeats wanted to go and live there. That's so pretty. It's a chota island. It was in his mind. It was in his imagination. When I saw the Lake Isle of Innisfree, I was really shocked. I said, how could Yeats say that he would like to live there when there is nothing, just rock and bushes and nothing else? It's a very, very small island, a little thing. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is not a big island, it's a very small island. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a very
जय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्याम Jagannathaaya te namah. Esteemed President of this grand occasion, our beloved Principal, Dr. Krishna Chandra Pradhan, the revered inaugurator of this national seminar, the center of attraction, Padma Shri Jayanta Mahapatra, the noted Odia Indo-English poet, respected our President of the governing body, Pradeep Kumar Biswal, respected Chief Speaker of this occasion, Professor Dr. Vishnu Charan Das, respected Chief Editor, Rock Pebbles, one of the partner of this occasion, Dr. Udaynath Majhi, the moderator, my dear student and colleague, Dr. Pragya Pravartika Das, and other colleagues of the department, invited teachers, readers, professors in English and other subjects from different corners of Odisha and also India. And my dear colleagues of other subjects of this college, media persons, invited guests, and my dear students. Moving vote of thanks is a formality, but I do not want to restrict myself only with the job of giving thanks at the end as a formality. Before I move vote of thanks, I would like to speak a few lines. Today's topic, WBS and Oriental thought. We are conducting such seminars basically for the students. So whatever I say now, I speak for the students, not for the teachers and others present here. In this title we find two things. One, WBS, the noted Irish poet, who is both a romantic and modern poet, and the other one, Indian thought, Oriental thought. And nowadays we know comparative literature has become a major component or part of study of literature. But the regret I would like to say here, that our students are not aware of our culture, our thought, our scriptures, our epics, or our classics. Our students do not study the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavata, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, even Veda, and some other things. If you have knowledge on Indian thought, on Oriental thought, then only we can find out which Indian thoughts are there in the poems of W.B. Yeats. Theoretically speaking, W.B. Yeats came to India, invited Mohinmohan Chatterjee, discussed with him about Indian culture and Indian thought. He was greatly influenced by Rabindranath Tagore. He wrote the preface of the English translation Song Offering, and he was also influenced by a number of other Indian thinkers, philosophers, Davi has made it very clear in his book how W.B. Yeats was influenced by Indian thought or Oriental thought. Three things I find: life, death and God, the connection between the three. Even in some of the poems I find a fusion of history, myth and vision. W.B. Yeats got these ideas from Indian thought. He is an Orientalist fully. That I don't agree with. Later on we are interpreting. We the Indians are interpreting. He came to India, he discussed with the Indian thoughts with a number of Indian philosophers and poets and thinkers. But he was influenced by and he wrote these things only by the Indian thoughts, and he had no original thoughts, not that. The same idea also there in the Western thought, in the Bible, in the Quran. The thoughts that we find in the Indian scriptures, Indian classics, we also find the same thought. Thought of God, idea of God is there. Idea of life and death is there. Service to mankind is service to God is there in our thought and also in their thought. Salvation is there in our scriptures. Salvation is also there in the Bible and other things. He has certainly studied the Indian philosophers. He has listened to the Indian philosophers. He has talked to the Indian people. He has also got first-hand experience from his visit to India. But still then also we find W.B. Yeats has his own vision, has his own original thought and has his own original ideas also. And I am talking about the students. They must know the Oriental thought so that they can find out how it is in Byzantium or in selling to Byzantium or in the poem Lala and the Swan. Unless and until we have the idea, we cannot find how W.B. Yeats is influenced by the Indian thought or the Oriental thought. How the Indian thought and Oriental thought has helped him to become a successful and a perfect poet. A poet is a seer. I underline the word seer. A poet is a seer who understands the basics or the fundamental truth of life. Birth, death and rebirth. The cyclic motion of life. One who doesn't understand this fundamental truth of life can never be called a poet. Writing some lines on paper doesn't make a poet without having the perception or the understanding or the realization that death is inevitable and before death there is life and after death there is also life, that is rebirth. So if one doesn't have this idea, even if one goes for writing poetry, writing volumes and volumes of poem doesn't make a real poet, doesn't make a successful poet. W.B. Yeats has that conception, has that understanding, has that realization. That's why I have also studied a number of poems of T.S. Eliot. W.B. Yeats has that romantic element. Perhaps Jayanta Sir here told W.B. Yeats is a better poet than T.S. Eliot, maybe because of that romantic thought or romanticism or the romantic elements in his poetry. Maybe for that he has accepted or he has realized that W.B. Yeats is better than T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot has also been influenced by Indian thought. Even in the poem, the best or the famous poem, the Wasteland, which ends with the Indian idea or the Indian thought. So both the poets have been influenced by Oriental thought, Indian thought. Maybe W.B. Yeats is more romantic than T.S. Eliot, and because of this romantic element in his poetry, W.B. Yeats is a better poet than T.S. Eliot. So I ask or I request my students to study the Indian thoughts and then to study W.B. Yeats and T.S. Eliot or other such poets so that they can find how they are influenced or how these Oriental thoughts are very much there or repellent with their poems. Now coming to my business, today's business of moving vote of thanks, I would like to thank first Padma Shri Jayanta Mahapatra. It is the second visit and he has come to our college for the second time at the age of 94. Sir, I hope you remember, I visited you at your home on your birthday. Pragya and our principal sir and myself visited your home, and there we met you very personally on that day. At this age, people are not able to even stand and walk. Maybe it is a love for poetry, for literature, and through your love for poetry and literature, you extend your love to all of us. And because of that love, you are able to walk and able to come to our college and to spend some time with us. It's our pleasure, it's our pride that you are with us. Sir, we are very much grateful to you that you, without hesitation, accepted our invitation and you came all the way taking all pain, and you are with us. You are in our midst. Sir, I thank you very much. I thank you 1,000 times, million times. Then I would like to thank Professor Vishnu Charan Das. We always consider him as one of the members of our English family. He is not an outsider. He is not an outsider. Sir is a professor in English, but so far as my personal knowledge goes, he has a lot of knowledge on Oriental thought or Indian scriptures, slokas and mantras and all that. He is always with us, even after retirement of Dr. Prasad Pradhan. He will be always invited. Not only invited, he is our part, he is our guide, he is our philosopher, and we will always remember you. We will always like to have you with us all the time. And especially I would like to thank him, the dream he has seen of our college. That this college from a small one has now become an autonomous college, and perhaps even the teachers, employees working here might not have dreamt of seeing this college as a university, but he has seen that this college will become a university. Sir, I pray before God that your words come true. We may be here, we may not be here, but if this college becomes a deemed university one day, your dream will be fulfilled, and we will be happy that a word which has come from the tongue of the Brahmin has become true. So, I would like to thank you once again for that. I would also like to thank our beloved President, Governor Niwadi. He is a busy man. He has other business at Bhubaneswar. He actually did not want to stay, but because of our pressure or because of our request, he stayed for so many hours. Finally, he has left the dais, but he is always with us. Yesterday, he was present here on the Foundation Day meeting, and he stayed here over the night only to attend this meeting, otherwise he would have departed yesterday. So he took so much of pain, came from Bhubaneswar, spent a night at Jatpur at his home at Rachipur, and today also he came and spent some time with us, delivered his erudite speech. So sir, I would like to thank you for the support that you have given and for the knowledge that you have emanated to us. Then I would like to thank Dr. Uday Maji, sir. Uday sir and Rock Pebbles, Department of English of this college and Rock Pebbles are two sides of the same coin. He is with us. He all the time supports us. He supports our principal in all matters like such occasions. So, sir, I expect your cooperation even after the retirement of Kusha sir. You will be happy if you collaborate with us and we collaborate with you on all such occasions in future. I once again would like to thank you, sir. Then I would like to thank our beloved principal, without whom this event would not have been successful, or without whom we all might not be here together. It is his plan, it is his vision, it is his pain, it is his perseverance, and it is his action and his inspiration which has made us all active